Hey YouTube, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to restore lights. So I'm working on a set of LX taillights. Now these taillights I've already buffed out with a fine cut cleaner. They were in good shape to begin with, so I didn't need to do any sanding. I didn't need to do anything crazy, but I do need to finish them off with a machine glaze. It's super fine cut. There's still a few little swirl marks and scratches from what I did before. You won't be able to see them in the camera, I'm sure. They still look great, but the process is all the same. So let's get started. Okay, so the angle's not the best on this workbench, kind of limited on space here. But basically I'm using this little 3-inch drill adapter. You can pick these things up on eBay or Amazon for like 10 bucks, and they come with a bunch of pads. This is a softer pad for more, polishing, final polishing duties and things like that. But you've got the ones that I have are the orange pads. They're a little bit rougher. That's what I use for my fine cut cleaning. Like I said, these taillights are already in real good shape. I polished them the other night with that stuff, and it just cleans them up a lot. If they're oxidized even a little bit, if they have light scratches in them, you can take those out. If they have scratches, I suppose I haven't tried it on stuff like this, but I've done it on headlights. The sanding technique starting with 800, and it works out pretty well. It's not going to get everything out, especially if they're a little bit deeper, but it still makes them look a lot better than they probably did when you started. So basically that deal just goes on there, pad sticks on there, Velcro. So what I'm going to do is just apply a fairly liberal amount of this stuff at first, just to get the pad kind of saturated. You do want to be careful. I think that this black around here is painted. I'm gonna repaint these because on one of the taillights, something got on it at some point and the paint's kind of messed up. So I'm gonna be repairing these, taping all this stuff off and then repainting it. I'm just gonna do both of them, that way it matches and looks cohesive. But if you don't need to do that, you could tape all this stuff off. You don't have to. I mean, I went through with the fine cut cleaner and I hit these things pretty hard, and it didn't mess up any of this. In fact, it just made it look better. So, kind of go at your own risk with that. But the key to this stuff, if you're dealing with any painted surfaces, is not to stay on it too long in one place. You don't want to heat it up too much. But these taillights are actually pretty resilient and pretty tough. So basically I'm just getting this all over the pad, and I'm going to start slow because otherwise you're just going to end up flinging compound all over the place, or glaze. So here we go. Okay, and that's pretty much that. Let me grab a paper towel. So then what you're gonna do is just go through here and kind of wipe off the rest of this stuff. You kind of don't want to let it dry on here because it can be difficult to get off. I mean, I have buffed it dry on accident, and it wasn't too bad, but it's just easier not to have to deal with it. So yeah, I mean, that took 10 seconds. They were already in pretty good shape, but it definitely brought back a little more shine than they had before. And the more you go with this stuff, you know, there's gonna come a point when it won't shine much more. We might be there, but they will, you know, they look almost brand new now. The color looks a lot better when you do this, and it's something that will really clean up the back end of your car. You can't take the focus away from anything else that might be wrong, like mine. So anyway, that's pretty much that. I'm gonna go ahead and get to work on the rest of this, and show you what it looks like when it's all finished. Should be about it. It'll probably be a little more advantageous to use a softer cloth other than a paper towel, but it's kind of what I have. So you just want to make sure to get all that compound off, because you do not want that stuff drying on. It can be a real nightmare to get off. Make sure you get all the way around the edges, get your fingers down in there. And I'm actually going to use a microfiber cloth, because for right here, you've got the Ford tooling marks and all that kind of stuff. And that stuff has a tendency to collect this compound. So it's pretty easy to get out. You just get like a microfiber cloth, which I probably should have been using in the first place, but this one's not perfectly clean, so just using a small spot on it. Just press down in there like that, and it gets in between all those letters and numbers and whatever. So yeah, looks good. I don't know how much of a difference you guys can really tell on camera, but that super fine cut glaze stuff, I think this is a Meguiar's 1. That stuff right there, that machine glaze, boy, it really just brought out that shine. I mean, these things, other than a couple of little nicks that this guy right here, that's never gonna come out, other than a couple of little tiny spots, I mean, they look brand new. You know, once the insides of these are pretty clean. You'll probably clean them out a little bit. They're a little dusty. Once you get that done, these things are perfect. So yeah, I'm gonna get to the other one. Some of that butyl right there, wonderful. Don't get that on these things. It's a bitch to get off too. Anyway, if you like the video, hope you found it informative. If you did, go ahead and hit a like, hit a subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.